The Oyo State High Court has granted the People's Democratic Party approval to proceed with its elective national convention scheduled for November 15 to 16 in Ibadan, the state capital. Delivering the ruling, Justice A.L. Akintola issued an interim order permitting the party to continue its convention plans without obstruction. The decision came after an ex parte motion filed by Folahan Adelabi against the PDP, its acting national chairman, Umar Damagum, Governor Maru Fintiri, who heads the National Convention Organizing Committee, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. In a significant directive to ensure transparency, the court ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to deploy monitors and observers to oversee the proceedings in accordance with electoral laws. Joining us now on this show to discuss the latest ruling by the court is Amah Abraham, Abia State PDP chairman. Good morning, Mr. Amah Abraham. Thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. It's my pleasure to be with you this morning.
Thank you. So, simple question. I'm sure you listened to the introduction. What next for the PDP? Will the convention still hold? Will the ruling of the Court of Justice Akintola in Ibadan overturn the earlier ruling in the Federal High Court, Abuja, of the Court of Justice James Omotosho?
Well, the survival of every organization is centered on the ability of that organization to respect the laws of the land as it affects the organization. The PDP is a political organization regulated by INEC, and there are extant laws. We have the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we have the Electoral Act, and of course, we have the Constitution of the People's Democratic Party. If the PDP or any other political party wants to survive, they must be seen to comply with the law. On Friday, the 31st of October, a federal high court sitting at Abuja Federal Capital Territory gave out a ruling. In that ruling, among several other things, they maintain that the PDP must be seen to follow its own rule of engagement before proceeding to national convention. The convention cannot be built on the premise of an improper fraction. It cannot happen where inordinate ambition outweighs due process. As I speak to you, there is a letter in the public domain written by the suspended national chairman, Ambassador Damagu, and the national secretary, the national secretary, distinguished Senator Samuel Anyanwu. They had written a letter to INEC to inform INEC that congresses will be conducted to either 12 or 14 states of the Federation. And if the political parties, the way they operate, is just like building a superstructure where before you talk of a state congress, you must have concluded what Congress and local government Congress. And before you talk of a national Congress, you must have been seen to have concluded all the state congresses, all the congresses of the 6th geopolitical zone, because those are the congresses that will give birth to the delegates who will be saddled with the responsibility of voting at the national convention. Now, there is an emphasis for national convention. I am the state chairman from Abia. From the southeast where I come from, we have only 2 standing chairmen, from Abia and my colleague from Imo State, Right Honorable Austin Wachuku. Without assistance as of today, based on the letter written by the suspended chairman Damagu and Senator Anyanwu, based on that letter, congresses were supposed to take place in Anambra State, in Ebonyi State, and the Southeast geopolitical zone. These congresses have not taken place. The simple implication is that if we are going for Ibadan for any congress, Southeast will be charged for with about 70% of its delegates will not be able to proceed for that national convention. What are the implications? The implication is that you are technically or tactfully trying to silence the voice of the Southeast. The same thing is happening in the South-South, and of course other parts of the Federation. And in that letter I am referring to, which was signed by the suspended chairman and Senator Damagu, they told INEC that congresses will take place in those states. And a week to that congress, that is where the problem started. The suspended chairman now wrote a letter alone against the spirit of the electoral law, against the spirit of our own constitution, wrote to INEC to inform INEC that congresses will not take place in 3 states. And those 3 states were Anambra, Bonny, and Cross River until a later date, according to him. And up till today, that later date have not been confirmed. And yet, there are emphasis of going for a national convention. Well, anybody who wants to take a risk can take a risk.
Mr.
But I can assure you that the judgment
Mr. Abraham, Mr. Abraham, I understand what you are saying. I'm asking you maybe a technical question. I don't know whether you have any affinity with legal matters. There are 2 court rulings now. There is the Federal High Court of Justice Omotosho. There is the Oyo State High Court of Justice Akintola. Now in law, there's something they call lex priori. That is the ruling that comes first. In this case, that will apply to Justice Omotosho. There's also lex posterior, or, I think that's the expression, if I remember. So which one now will take effect? Will the convention hold? Earlier on, I was talking about subject matter, the parties involved, and the equities involved. Which one do you think is going to prevail now? Is it the one that came before, or this one that is the latest?
Well, I can assure you that sanity demands that the judgment of the Federal High Court delivered by Justice Omotosho stands. Because number 1 is a Federal High Court. Number 2, INEC was cited. The court at Oyo, Ibadan, does not have the capacity to cite.
No. I was telling you about subject matter, the parties, the equities involved. Okay. Let's leave it. If you don't get what I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right. Let me come in here and ask Mr. Abraham. Except you want to respond. I don't think. Do you want to respond to that, or can I go ahead with my question? Okay.
Well, my position, as I said, the judgment for me and thousands of PDP members out there will subscribe to the judgment delivered by the Federal High Court. And already, I am aware that there are moves for appeal. I am aware. And it is only an appeal that can displace that judgment.
Okay, all right.
I don't think that any judgment is good enough to displace the federal capital judgment delivered by Justice Omotosho. I do not think so.
Okay, so obviously you're saying that from your perspective, the convention will not hold based on the federal court's ruling, right?
Abraham Amah and his likes and people who believe in the rule of law and justice, sanity, and that things should take due process will not participate in any Congress.
Okay.
That would take place without first having Congresses in those states where Congresses have not taken place.
So tell us more about Mr. Abraham and his likes, because when you say this, you then allude to the fact that there are factions, which the PDP has consistently denied, saying that instead, in fact, I got it from good authority from a chieftain of the PDP this morning, that there are no factions. They are just people that are sent by the opposition party to destabilize the party. Is that the part that you are, is that what where you belong? Are you sponsored by the opposition party to destabilize the party? Or what faction do you belong to, if there are any factions?
In every political conversation or political structure, there are diverse opinion and views, and those opinion and views does not necessarily amount to faction. I believe that in the PDP conversation table, that we have people with different views, and I also believe that those views does not necessarily amount to faction. I stand with those who believe that justice demands that before you go for national convention, that all the delegates that needs to have emerged from the various states and the geopolitical zone must have been seen to emerge, and their names forwarded to the national. And when you now have a situation whereby you are talking about a national convention, we are not yet settled with Anambra, we are not settled with Ebonyi, we are not settled with Southeast, and then you want us to go. You are simply trying to disenfranchise our people, and that will not be acceptable by us.
Okay. Mr. Abraham, so you support the likes of Turner that went to court in the first place, right? You are aligned with Turner that went to court, the likes of Turner and a couple of other people that went to court, right?
I am the second plaintiff on that matter. I went to court alongside with Turner.
Okay, so you also went to court. You also went to court,
yes,
right?
Yes, went to court. I'm one of the listed I am a plaintiff on that matter, yes.
Okay, so you were also part of that matter. So it is safe to say that you people are part of the Wike faction, because Wike also celebrated that victory, and they said, okay, now we'll see how you people are probably even going to go ahead since the court has ruled and the convention is stalled. But I also like to ask you, is this the best approach by stalling your own party convention because it doesn't favor you? What does it mean to be a party man to you?
Well, Rafai, let me tell you this. The fact that I've been hungry for the past 1 week does not mean warrant that I will eat a poison food. You understand? That when you present a poison food to my family, I should be able to tell my children that for the past 1 week, we have not been able to eat because we don't have money. We have shedded some weight, but this particular food is poison. We are not going to eat it. We'll remain hungry until such a time when the Almighty will provide for us. Now, the issue here is not anybody's trying to stall a convention. We are simply saying the right thing should be done. There are processes. Every regulation, ARISE is regulated by the National Broadcasting Commission or so. And so there are rules for every engagement. You see, when the Supreme Court, for instance, gave a judgment that political parties should manage themselves as an internal processes, that ruling did not by any way give political parties a room to abuse the Constitution of the Federal Republic, to abuse the electoral, and to abuse their own Constitution. What I am saying is that...
Because of time, I would like to put it to you, sir, that as a party man, you have eaten poison many times and you don't complain about it because you are told to make concessions. So why is making concession to allow your party go for convention this time around a bad thing if you are not in cahoot with a particular faction? As a party man, you see, your role for the party is to eat poison, to eat the things that does not favor you many times. Why is this one different? That's what I'm just asking you briefly, because we need to wrap up now.
Well, there is an African proverb that says that an elder does not sit and watch a goat deliver white tied in a rope. Now, let me tell you, Rafai, anybody has the right for his own interpretation or narrative. But as far as we are concerned, what is necessary at this point is that our party must respect its own rules. That our party cannot be a disrespecter of the rule of law. For any reason whatsoever. That is not acceptable by us. If that is the meaning of poison to you, that is not the conventional meaning of poison. The conventional meaning of poison is to adulterate a system. And we are saying that we are ready to go to convention. Who are the listed delegates from Anambra State? Who are the delegates from Ebonyi State? Who are the delegates from Southeast? Who are the delegates from South-South? And if this does not mean anything to anybody, and you are just saying, let's go for a national convention at Ibadan, and then when it is time, Abraham Amah, I'm supposed to lead Abia State, and some other person is supposed to lead another state. When it is time for that state to vote, to cast their vote, nobody will stand there because conferences have not been concluded there. And we want to make some people happy. Make some people happy by just going for convention, eating the poisonous food.
Okay, Mr.
And as that is not acceptable by us, sir.
Okay, Mr. Abraham, thank you very much. You lost me somewhere along the line. All this talk about poison this early morning, but it's okay. We should just emphasize the rule of law. And I think that would prevail, should prevail at the end of the day.